Hello to Natasha and the youth in Russia. I realize a lot of young people have a problem with Putin. He has bad background. He rules kind of like tyrannic. But please look at it one way. Here in the United States, and I know Natasha's been here. It's very free. It's very open. But there comes a point where progressivism, if you want to say it is, when things are overly progressive. Um, the LGBT and gay rights. It's none of us have a problem with that generally in the United States. We really don't. But the narrative of pushing it, they push it so much that it actually infringes on other people's rights. Like my niece, when she was in, she was in junior high. She had to share showers with some of the lesbians girls and their young girls, and she said they'd make her really uncomfortable because they'd stare at her. And now they want to put, if you identify yourself as a trans, you quite possibly in some school districts, you can shower with them too, which it's not really. That's a little bit overkill, I think, don't you? But I really enjoy hearing about Russia. Um, I think one thing that old school government has done so far is they've kept the over progressive from getting out of hand. You will realize that in Russia they don't have very little terrorist attacks. Here in the United States we have problems. Immigrants just it's not immigrants. It's not the people fighting for freedom trying to get out who are in danger. It's the young men who leave their countries acting as teenagers and they come here and they bring that same mindset that was over in Syria and they cause, they start their own gangs and they start problems. And it's being a liberal kind of a country, we can't really, it's very difficult for us to differentiate. But in Russia, Putin does because he makes penalties not worth the trouble. So you probably will get a new ruler, I mean, new president or what have you. And I wish you all well. I would love to come to Russia. I'd love to stay in Russia. I'd love to buy a little place out in um, Georgia. They're reasonable enough. But I really wanted to tell you, younger Russian people, that so much has changed in Russia. I honestly, I'm, I have to say, I'm kind of proud of the country myself. In the '80s, everything was kind of crazy in Russia. It was really, really rough. And today, Russia is like the United States was back in the '80s, which was a good time for you. United States, it was free. And now for us in the United States, we're becoming more like Russia was in the '80s. We're monitored. Um, we have elections where they don't even want ID. There's it's just gotten so corrupt out here. It's funny, and I'm a patriot. I love my country, but the government out here is crazy. They just do whatever they want. I mean, but if that, I don't know if that helps you a little bit, but Russia ain't so bad. It's if you get rid of some of the bad, little bit of the bad parts, you'll notice there's a lot of bad parts you don't have in Russia that we have here. And people find out when they come out here and they've been here a while, gang activities worse. I know in Russia you guys have the mafia and all that, but out here we have, especially with the Middle Eastern and Indian gangs, um, we have some issues with. And I like Indians, and I don't mind Middle Eastern people. I have nothing against Islam, you know. Um, it's just there's enough bad ones to make them all look kind of sketchy, and that's unfortunate. But I think the Russia's old school mindset. I think you guys are in a perfect shape right now. That if you get a new president, that your country would totally be awesome. Just try not to be overly progressive. Try to keep some of your core values that you have, and like for one, most people in the United States speak English, but probably 30% of them speak only a little bit of English or not at all. and even people from Mexico, they look at me like trash, and it's racist for white people because slavery happened a long time ago. My parents were from, well, I'm not going to mention where because Germany, but um, everyone hates Caucasians, and now, and it's just not right. But in Russia, they keep an even balance a little bit. You know, there's not as much racism in Russia as you think. There's so much more racism here. Um, we got a lot of we got a lot of black folk that are really like non-racist, and you can talk to them and everything's cool, and they don't hate you because you got lighter skin colors. But we have a lot that don't like us, and for what reason I don't know. I'd have to watch a movie to find out how bad it was. I mean, but overall, I think Russia's a cool place. I've met a lot of Russian people. I guess Privet Kaktia, how are you? But I want to wish you, everyone in Russia, the young people, I wish you good luck on your endeavors. And thank you, Natasha, for the follow. I really appreciate it. I'll put more content. I do a lot of some comedy, and I also do research, like Sumerians and whatever, kind of like a MythBuster kind of thing. And I've deleted a lot of them because YouTube's platform, if it offends anybody, then they just get mad. But I'm glad to hear from, glad that you are following me, and thank you. I really do appreciate it. And I was hoping we'd have a Russian consulate out here because I would like to go to Russia for a while, just check it out. Like I said, and Georgia, and maybe get some property or something. I don't know. But thanks again, and I'll get some content going on this channel. And if you have any suggestions that you want, I deal with a lot of tough content. I do a lot of research, like the 12 tablets from the Sumerian 12 tablets they found, which are faked and counterfeit. Um, I spent 6 months on that. It wasn't too hard, and uh, I do really hard. I deal with a lot of hard stuff, especially whether it's Big Bang Theory, or physics, religion, and whatever. I dig it up. I find the facts for you. You know. And thank you. And you folks have a good weekend. This is Marbachmeyer.